Welcome to Containment Site 64, the pride and bulwark of the SCP Foundation's mission to secure, contain, and protect. Within Site 64, Foundation departments cooperate to secure anomalous objects and entities known as SCPs. These SCPs range from harmless, everyday items to walking disasters which threaten the whole of humanity. Thankfully, departments such as the Mobile Task Forces and Internal Security exist to prevent and respond to any threats that prove a danger to human health and safety. Mobile Task Forces are particularly well suited to various kinds of threats and wield special equipment to neutralize harmful entities. The C in SCP would not be meaningful without the Science Department, whose endless experiments into the anomalous properties of SCPs inform new parameters for effective containment. To sustain continual research, the use of disposable prisoners, Class Ds, allows for mostly ethical human testing that reveals each object's anomalous properties. Class Ds are housed in the Class D containment area, where scientists may brief and lead them to tests. Behind the scenes of all site operations stands the Site Directors and O5 Command, the highest echelon of Foundation personnel. These individuals oversee and execute the most essential of site operations from the Administration Zone. This concludes the personnel introduction video for Containment Site 64. Remember our mission: to secure, to contain, to protect.
Hello SCP Site Roleplay community, it is me, Melstead. I am also accompanied by two of the other developers, the one and only Visceral and the one and only Upesu. This is the newest devlog, and we are going to be showing off all of the main features of our newest update, which is titled the Carnage update. So, as the name suggests, and as the promotional artwork in our event tab suggests, this update is mostly focused on the addition of our new SCP-076, and then along with a couple other features, such as the deployable 50 cal machine gun. We got a couple SCP reworks, mainly dimensional SCPs like 860, SCP-1499, and SCP-2521. We have a new SCP joining us as well in this update in Carnage, SCP-323, and then as you guys saw opening up the video, the new tutorial. Well, not tutorial, but new tutorial intro screens for introduction, mainly for new players, so that they understand what's going on. So, to start things off, we're gonna jump straight into SCP-076. Alright, here we are, everybody. So, I'm here in Con 1. We have switched up. So, we have the new 076 model, as you can see. So, he has gotten a brand new sword, a brand new cloak, a fully set of custom meshed clothing, and then his entire body is also made of a custom mesh now as well. This allows for some cool practical applications for design that you are going to see in a moment. But as far as first stage goes, SCP-076 still basically functions entirely the same way he did before. He's got a 3 sword swings combo, as you can see, same as before. Obviously it's a little different, we got slightly different animations, and since he's a little bit bigger now as well, some physical aspects had to be changed. And his skills are still roughly the same. They've received a couple improvements mechanically. As you can see, the ground smash here, there is a brief phase there in the middle where you dash a little faster than you did before. And then for the Blade Barrage, the ultimate for the base form, as you can see, the lines on his body glow. And then here at the end of the hall, you can see Upesu and Visceral. They have prepared themselves for my arrival. So what he is sitting there using at the moment is the new deployable 50 cal machine gun. I will show that off after I am done showing off 076, but as you can see, they're going to take a couple pot shots at me. Now, you can see my health. So, with the 50 cal machine gun, one of the main unique aspects of this weapon is that this gun deals true damage. So, the shots from the 50 cal machine gun negate 076's lightning shield. and they punch straight through to his main health bar. 076's main strength is his 5 shields that he gets at each 5th of his health bar. They can soak up 60 hits in total each, and that includes any bullet. So a Glock bullet and an M249 bullet are both the exact same as far as a hit is taken. So not having to burn your way through those hits makes the 50 cal machine gun a very effective weapon for dealing with 076. As you can see, those big cases on their back, those are the 50 cal items themselves. During the event, the new 7 will spawn with one automatically. And as you can see, when I attacked them, I was able to destroy the turret. Obviously, during a real server environment, and there's a lot of people around, and there can be multiple machine guns up at once. So this forces 076 to pick his battles a little more carefully. The machine guns are best deployed in longer corridors where you have more time to shoot 076, because 076 is very fast, especially into his second phase, which we can actually show here with the 50 cal. So they're going to shoot me until I transform into the new Berserk state. So this is the main feature, I'd say, of 076's new revamp. Quotation marks all around revamp. But the entirety of the second phase is... We'd originally intended for this Berserk state to come with 076 when we had first published it as a fully playable SCP. But time constraints and, limits obviously made that a little hard at the time. But we have it in now, so I'm going to just explain some stuff real quick. So we have 2 new main skills. So replacing ground slam, you now have mock dash. This is 7-fold vengeance, so this is the skill that this lowers the cooldown for. You can grab a downed enemy and then finish them off. This will instantly fill your rage meter to max. And then here you go, your Embrace of Sin, which is your passive skill basically. Build up to 3 rage charges over time, up to 2 rages consumed upon knocking down an enemy. Launching a sword at a nearby enemy for each point consumed. So I'm going to use mock dash, which is a sprinting type skill. As you can see, if you hold right click while you're moving, you can sprint forward very fast. And you can, if you hit people, you will ragdoll them and then knock them out of the way. You accelerate the faster and longer you go, up to a maximum speed. The faster you're going, the harder it is to make turns. As you can see, I hit the wall and bounced there. If you hit anything, like a wall or a concrete barrier, a box, you will be interrupted, like you saw there when I hit the wall. And as you can see, 076 ditches his sword while he's in his second phase. Instead, he relies on punching people. Though punching people comes with some unique effects. If you hit somebody twice, they will get ragdoll and sent backwards a little bit, as you can see. So you do less total damage in your second phase per hit. I'm going to show off the end of the mock dash. You have another ability you can do if you decide to cancel it mid-dash. If I run really fast here, and then if I get to them and then I click before getting there, I can slam type attack, as you saw there. That'll AoE everybody in a small radius around the impact site. As you saw that sword that came flying off, so that's your passive skill, your Embrace of Sin. So if you have enough rage, which you build up from using your skills, those extra swords that you saw will be launched out when you do attacks, and they will automatically target the closest player. So this allows you to get some pretty insane mob type damage when you're beating people. So now I'm going to show off the execution move. Okay, as you can see, if I ragdoll him now I can press Q on him, and then I can engage a execution animation. The second phase kicks in at around right around 1500 HP after you've lost your third shield. As you can see, my HP degeneration has kicked in. This feature mostly exists to encourage SCP-076 players to actually fight people. So that is the bulk of the new content for SCP-076. You guys will definitely see more of this combat in a more full-scale server when we do the stress testing. A couple streamers are given permission to stream actively during the stress test, so when that happens, you guys can tune into those, and they'll guarantee you'll probably see some proper combat footage of 076, because it's really fun, trust me, you guys are going to like them a lot. So now I'm going to cut over to the MTF side of things, and I'm going to show you guys how deploying the 50 cal machine gun works. Alright, here we are, we're back. I am here as a new 7 operative. So the 50 cal machine gun is deployed in 2 separate pieces, requiring 2 new 7 set up the device. As you can see, depending on what direction you're looking, changes the direction it is placed in. Direction is important. Placement is important. The machine gun has a limited firing arc after it has been placed. It can only shoot 120 degrees in front of itself. Alright guys, so I'm going to place the first piece of the machine gun right now. So I'm going to put down the base. Alright, that is the base of the machine gun. Now Visk will put down the gun portion of the machine gun. There we go. So now we have a fully assembled 50 caliber machine gun. Any FP can use the turret. So that includes medical department, scientific department. Pretty much anybody can hop on this thing. But New 7 is the only one that is able to place it. As you can see, it is controlled with WASD on your keyboard or with your touchpad if you're playing on a mobile device. As you can see, 120 degrees. You have a limited firing arc. This is as far to the side as I can shoot. Some adjustments will probably be made to certain aspects of the balance because obviously we still have to do some testing during the stress test. Don't take everything you see as completely final. There may be adjustments to certain things like damage or health or speed. So I can click and hold down. So I'm currently shooting a Pesu. Obviously, in a normal game, SCP-076 is not going to be standing still. So getting off any good amount of damage with this thing is going to be a little difficult. It will definitely take some practice. The balance is that it is very easy for 076 to close the distance to the machine gun and himself. So these are more so suicide weapons to get off damage on 076 before he gets too dangerous. And obviously in a server, you're probably going to have multiple of these machine guns up. And that is the bulk of 076's new features. That is the 50 cal machine gun, his second phase explained, and then he's going to receive a couple balance adjustments to some of his raw abilities because obviously there's a much newer gameplay element that has to be considered. Balancing will be done, and we promise he'll release in a very fun, enjoyable state. We are now going to pan over to our next SCP that has arrived into the game, SCP-323, so I will see you guys over there. Alright. Hello everybody again, we're back. We have cut over here to SCP-323. Oh, we are right outside his chamber. You can see up here on the sign, this SCP is located right next to SCP-017. Now this SCP requires multiple people to activate, so I have my lovely developer friends here who are going to help out. So for this SCP, in a public game, you are going to need 1 CI and 3 Class Ds. So if you want to turn this SCP on, you're going to need to cooperate, and you're going to need to get 3 Class Ds over here, alive and intact. Once you do get over here though, the CI is going to come over here to this table. He's going to open this box, and then once he opens the box, the CD can grab the daggers. So all you do is hold E, grab a dagger. So this is SCP-323's containment chamber. A little similar to SCP-049, as you can tell. We went for a little grassy interior. We got some trees, we got torches, and as you can see, we've got the stall itself. So this is the SCP itself over here, hanging up. And you have the ritual site. So this whole area is important. As you can see, there are 3 spots here on the ground, marked by stones connected to the middle fire. So the 3 Class Ds, after picking up their daggers, each Class D has to stand in a circle. Once you stand in the circle, the ritual itself will commence. Alright, the ritual is commenced. So now, the way it works is that the 3 Class D now have to fight to the death. The last surviving Class D is the one that becomes the Wendigo. As you can see, Visceral's soul fed the skull. So one eye is now filled up, so his soul went into the eye. So if I come over here and say I'm pro and skilled, I've now killed Upesu. He's dead. Now the helmet has received all this, well, not helmet, skull has received all the souls it needs. You can see the music and ambience has changed a little bit. Now what we do is we're just going to hold E as instructed to put on the helmet. We're going to begin the transformation into the Wendigo. Alright, so we are now the Wendigo. So we have a couple different things that we can do as the Wendigo. I'm going to explain this bar here that you can probably see. So this bar is your hunger bar. The Wendigo has to feast on the flesh of dead people to continue its existence. If this bar reaches 0, you're going to start taking tick damage. So you will slowly lose HP. So as you can see, the Wendigo has 3000 HP. We have our basic movement here, which is just a walk. We can press the left mouse button to engage a 3-string combo attack. You can see the Wendigo does attack quite fast. Very dangerous if you let him get too close to you. He can kill you in about 2 hits. You're an SCP, so you're also capable of opening most doors. So, the Wendigo basically has primal hunter vision. So this is what this R skill is here in the middle. If you press R, you're going to activate this skill. As you can see, both of the living targets have been highlighted red behind the wall. So this is basically to help you find and locate people to eat. It lasts 8 seconds, I believe, and then it ends, and then it's on a short cooldown. Oh, there we go. My hunger bar has reached 0, so I've now started to take tick damage. You can see I'm taking 20 damage every second, quite a bit. So you want to stay fed. So I'm going to eat Upesu here. He's now dead. I'm going to walk over to his corpse. I'm going to hold E. I'm gonna eat him. I got a little bit of HP back and 30% of my hunger back. Like I said before, all of this still has to be balanced. None of these stats are necessarily final as far as the hunger and health and all that. And we have a shift ability as well. So if you hold shift, you can engage a running stance, which allows you to run. So this makes you faster than your base walk speed. Allows you to close the distance between targets. As you can see, it does use stamina though, so it's not like you can run forever. So as you can tell by the hunger and the health regen and stuff, Wendigo is designed to be a highly aggressive SCP. The SCP itself is on a cooldown, which is subject to change. As of right now, the time between Wendigo uses is capped at 30 minutes, so there is a forced 30-minute cooldown between the next summoning ritual. And that's the bulk of the Wendigo. I'll show you guys what happens if I kick the bucket. So Upesu here is going to help finish me off. I'm slowly dying from hunger and being shot to death. So when the Wendigo dies, he lets out a big yell, and then he ragdolls just like any other player would. Alright guys, so that's SCP-323. Just as a recap of what I just showed. You need 1 CI, can only be activated every 30 minutes. You need 3 CD. CI has to open the box located on the desk in the outer portion of the containment cell. The 3 CD have to pick up the daggers, walk towards the ritual site, stand in the circles, and then whoever wins the fight gets to put on the mask. I think it's very cool. Chronosius is the main developer behind this SCP. He did a great job with this one, so make sure you guys send him some love in Gen Chat and the Discord when you have some time. We are going to hop over to some of the build changes for this update. So the main build changes for this update, as I mentioned earlier, are the 3-dimensional SCPs. So that's SCP-1499, SCP-860, and SCP-2521. Alright guys, so here we are at SCP-2521. Nothing physically has changed with the containment chamber. All of the aspects that have been changed are within the dimension itself. Alright, we have been brought over to SCP-2521. So as you can see, we have done a massive overhaul to the overall vibe of this dimension. We've kept the same abandoned, cold, ruinous theme. And then you got all that floating stuff up there too, as you can see. So whatever happened in SCP-2521's dimension was not very good. As you can see, you still freeze as usual and turn into a statue slowly. And you're gonna flop over and die when you get too cold. We'll probably do a little bit more with 2521 in the future, mechanically. But for now, we just wanted to get some new visuals in because it was a little on the bland side. Alright guys, here we are. We are now at SCP-860. So, I'm going to show you the process of getting into this SCP. So, we come in here, we grab the key. We now have the key. We're going to enter the containment. There's a radio there if you want to give your radio to your class to use for exploration. Just walk up to it, holding the key, and we hold E to open the door. Now, the door is going to open. Now we're going to walk through. So, here we are. We are now in the new SCP-860. We've completely redone the environment. So we're just going to take a bit of a stroll and see what happens. Alright, as you guys just saw, that is the new 860 entity. So it's a big, I guess, cat-like creature. I guess is the closest thing I can compare it to. It's very fast, and it will one-shot you when it hits you. It is guaranteed death if it comes up on you, and there is no way to kill it. Some additional mechanics for 860 will probably be implemented in the future as far as immersion goes. Here we are, guys. We are now in SCP-1499. So this is the last of the 3-dimensional SCPs to get a rework. We're just gonna walk up to it. We're gonna hold E to grab it. We now have it in our inventory as an item. You can see. I can hold it. If you're holding it, you hold F, and then that lets you put the mask on. The mask is now on. And we are inside of SCP-1499. You can hold F at any time to take the mask off. You can also deselect it if you want to. So this is the new dimension. It is filled with a bunch of SCP-1499 entities. If you get too close to one, they will start chasing you. You gotta be careful of where you go, and if you can see, if they grab you, they can start slowly doing damage to you, and then they kill you. So they will continuously spawn around the player as you move around the dimension. So at any time, I can just equip the mask item again, and then just hold F, and we can take the mask off. And we are back to where we started. And then if you want, you just put it back down when you're done with it. There you go. So obviously one of the major differences that you guys will notice right away is that only one person can be holding the mask at any given moment. So multiple people cannot go in to the SCP at one time. And obviously SCPs and stuff can't use it anymore to escape the nuke and other stuff like they previously could. So that was our 3 revamped dimensional SCPs. I'm now going to run through some more small miscellaneous changes on a 1-by-1 basis. Alright, so here we are. We got some changes over here. As you can see, we got new testing boards. These will flip over to other letters when the status changes. You can press it and show that off. You can see they flip and then it changes to ongoing. This lets you know when scientists want you in. Some changes have also been made to the overall structure of the inside. As you can see, we have redone the flooring a bit. So the spots have been changed to single rectangles instead of long lines. Now there's designated individual standing spots. And then obviously it's made out of concrete now instead of metal like it was before to fit the theme. Alright, now we're coming out of briefing room. We're gonna come up here. The solitary console has been moved. Instead of now being down there next to the door, it is now up here. So it functions the exact same way it did before. It's just been moved. There were complaints that people would be coming over here to try to move through and they would accidentally access the solitary while trying to open this door. Alright guys, we've cut over to SD here. So we've got a couple new SD cosmetics. So these new cosmetics are new shirts and pants for the SD. So these are more police-styled uniforms with ties and different pockets. You can see we have junior security guard and security guard here. So this is some variation if the SD want to change it up a little bit and they don't necessarily want their white combat uniform. You can go for something a little more formal. As you can see, the main differences between the uniforms is that the junior security guard is all blue, and then the security guard is blue shirt with black pants. We're always going to be adding new cosmetics like this over time, so expect a couple new cosmetics in every update. Alright guys, here we are. We are on IA, so I'm going to show off a couple of the new IA, well not couple, but the new IA cosmetic. So we now have a windbreaker uniform now. So this is a secondary uniform for anybody who wants to get off the standard suit and tie. Also, if you want to, you can completely take off your plate carrier now and use your front accessory cosmetic or your neck accessory cosmetic. You can see that's my bow tie from my original avatar right there. You just want to walk around looking like an investigations unit. That is completely up to you now. And we got some changes in the control room as well, so I'm going to go over here and show those off. So the communications room has been completely remade. We have new panels in here, a couple new static decoration items, these tubes. So this is a vacuum tube system, so basically to transport information and, you know, maybe like paperwork, documents and stuff, since everything in this site is kept as physical records, they would be sent through these tubes, which use vacuum suction to take the tubes up, and then depending on what tube you put it in, it will take it to a different location. We've also got these new phones on the wall here too as well, and the new computers as well. So it's just a little decoration room. It was a little lacking before, so we've given it some personality here with the switchboards and the vacuum tubes and the new computers and everything. I think we did a good job with this room. It's very nice looking. We've got some flags up here on the wall now, as you can see. So these are all of the, I guess, countries that participate in funding and work with the SCP Foundation to some capacity. So also some changes here to the inside of the elevator. And as you can see here, we have new railings here, not the blocky ones they were before. And then the lighting of the entire area has been changed. It had a more noticeable blue hint. It's a little hard to show since this is the new lighting, but if you look at a video from before this update or go in game and check yourself, you'll be able to tell that there is a lighting difference between the two. That covers the new changes. As you can see here, Visca's wearing the new IA outfit. Oh, he's just wearing all of his avatar cosmetic items. Got a very nondescript, low profile look. Or you can go for the heavily armed vest and full balaclava look, you know? That's why we did customization, to give people the option to choose. Alright guys, so here we are. We are on CI now. So I'm going to come over here to the shop to buy the new item. So we're going to go over here to the One Life shop. CI. We have this new item. It is called the Sample Collector. Alright guys, so here we are. We are at SCP-008, so I can show off some changed aspects of the sample tool. So we have increased the variety of SCPs that you can use. So all infectious SCPs in the game can now be used with the sample tool, obviously except SCP-610 because that one is locked to an event, but all other infectious SCPs. We're gonna come in here. We have our sample tool. We can interact. Now we have a canister filled with 008 gas. We can come and take our canister. We can leave a containment with it. Let's say we wanted to become 008 zombies, or you wanted to detonate it on a bunch of FP or CD or whatever. You just hold it and you click, and then it will blow up in a radius around yourself, and it will turn anybody nearby into a zombie. As you can see, this works the exact same way with all the other infectious SCPs, including the candle. So you can bottle it up, walk next to other people with it, click the button, and you will activate the effects of the SCP. Alright guys, we have reached the end of this developer vlog. I hope everybody enjoyed the content that was shown off during this video. There's a couple smaller things that you guys are going to have to see for yourself. Obviously, the dimensions have more to explore. You guys can test out the mechanics of the new SCPs. There's obviously a couple new cross-testing applications that you guys can discover as well. We thank everybody for being a part of our community, and we were sorry that this update was delayed and that it took longer than expected. Some stuff came up, among other things. There's not really any valid excuse for it, but I would still like to apologize for that. So I hope to see you guys soon. Update is going to be out very soon, just a week away. Tune into the streams for the stress test when that is ongoing, and you guys can get a up-close look at all of the new content in a more gameplay perspective. Goodbye, everybody.